Okay, guys, thanks for jumping on today. Since, this whole thing came about, Tara, Shane, Doug, and I have been getting so many messages. Hold on one sec. So many messages about this transition that we all took from what we were taught to what we're doing. And I just want to kind of preface the call a little bit because I know this video is going to get out there, and I want to just kind of give everybody some background. And I'm going to be so honest with you guys, like I'm like swallowing my pride right now because it's not something that I want to admit, because I have a lot of pride with where I am in my business, and to actually tell somebody that I was hurting actually makes me feel not very good, but it's the reason why we're here. And so I hope you can just appreciate the honesty and from all of us. So, some of you might watch this and go, oh, well, they're not working hard enough, or, they're not doing A, B, and C. And I'll tell you guys right now, I built this business on SC5 and into a six-figure income in 19 months. I'm going to insert the Beachbody income disclaimer. If we talk anything money, you guys know Beachbody income disclaimer. And, if we talk about anything about placement and all that, just please check your P&P, because you obviously want to make sure you're compliant in everything that you do. So with that being said, back in 2016, I had my third child, and I had decided when I got pregnant with her that I was going to 10x everything that I have ever been taught, and I was going to blow this thing out of the water. And this was end of 2015. So 2016, I advanced to 12-star diamond. I hit elite. We had a lot of tragedies going on in our family that year, but we still made it. So I've sponsored between all business centers roughly 25 diamonds. And I gained a cushy life, okay, nice padded income. My income was padded enough where if there were dips, it didn't affect me. But it got to a point where I was like, what's happening here? And that was when, we thought maybe there was a problem with what we were doing, but we're problem solvers. So we did everything. We did, different types of push groups and, one-on-one calls and just all kinds of stuff. Like, we're problem solvers. That's why we're here. Like, we're not new coaches and we're like trying to figure this out. Like, we figured it out, but as business owners, we're trying to refigure it out to make this work for us again. So, obviously for all of us, there's always room for improvement. For me, I wanted to work deep in my downline and not just my front line. So from doing that this year, my team popped a record number of diamonds and star diamonds. I will say I'm really good at this business, and I'm not afraid to declare that. I'm not a top 10 coach, but I'm really good at this business. Okay. The staples that helped me grow my business in the beginning just weren't working right now. And what made me think that was December of last year. Last year I hit elite and I made 50,000 less than I made in the year I didn't hit elite, because I missed it in 2018. I'm a 4-time elite coach. One of the girls that helped me hit elite had said to me, I need to figure this out because, I've hit Success Club every month. I brought on a business builder, my spouse is on board, and I'm barely covering my shakes. And that really punched me in the gut. Because by the point that by the point she was at in my business, I was already making probably $700 a week. So that really affected me when she said she could barely cover her shakes. Now, we're not doom and gloom here, guys. We're problem solvers and stuff. I had actually talked to my aunt yesterday because my aunt has a successful business in a hair salon, and I told her, about what was going on in my business. She said, you know what, Candace, we have the same thing. Businesses go up and down. We just course correct. Okay. So it's okay. Like, as business owners, a company that's in business, let's say Starbucks, I always like to use Starbucks, but Starbucks, if they experience no growth from one year to another, they take a step back and they assess their business and they try to fix it. They don't do the same thing that they did the year before. Okay, so that's why we're doing what we're doing right now. So for me, I'm calling this emergency mode for my personal business because like I said to you guys before, I had a lot of financial padding for many years, but I've entered into a spot in my business now where I absolutely can't do what I've been doing. So we're going to talk to you guys about how we laid it out to our team. And I'm going to be totally frank with you guys. When we all came to sorry, I'm a little nervous. The decision that we were doing this, we felt like new coaches. We were like, we don't know how to not sell a challenge pack, or we don't know how, like, what's our goal now? Like, now what do we do? It was almost like we were twiddling our thumbs, wondering what the heck we were supposed to do. Like, how do we sell things? It was crazy. So we put up the academy, and you guys saw it, and you're more than welcome to, make templates and do it in your own team. So that's just what I want to share. Tara and Shane are just going to jump on really quick. As you guys know, we're like 3 different teams. I'm a 12-star team. Shane's 13-star. Tara's a superstar diamond team. And we've partnered up with Doug, who's coach number 1 in the whole Beachbody network. And we just wanted to figure this thing out together. So we're a lot of, good coaches coming together that really shifted this focus. So we're going to talk real briefly, then we're going to bring Doug in, and then at the end we'll open it up to questions because we know you guys have it and we want to answer them the best way we can. So Tara, do you want to unmute yourself and just share real quickly?
Hi guys, I'm really nervous. So I just want to kind of say that for those of you on here that are like me, where I was brought into this business with T25, all I sold my entire career were challenge packs. That's all I knew how to sell, because I was never really into network marketing. I never knew, like, Candace is really, really good at this business and really, really good at selling and sharing products and all that. And I was not. So when we first came together, I'm like, oh gosh, my business is over. I don't know how to not sell a challenge pack. And this is all I've taught, So for me, it was like a huge change in mindset. And 2 years ago, we adopted this volume thing. We shared it on our team. It was kind of like we were in and out. It wasn't like we were all in, and we were still promoting Success Club, and I was still, rewarding Success Club. So it was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because of what Success Club brings. That's how I was successful, and that must be the only way, nowadays. Like that's the only way now that we have challenge packs, and that's the only way I knew. So the past 2 years, I've been flatlined in my business, even though I'm working the same or even harder. And I'm like, there's something wrong here. I need to change something. I can't just bank on my coaches finding that one person to change their business, And then my coaches that were the ones that are so consistent, hitting Success Club 10, bringing on 2 to 3 builders a month, making crap. I'm like, how can we do this as an elite team for 5 years? This would be my 6th year. How can I keep going at this rate? This is not okay. I want my coaches to be making some serious money. So I said, you know what? I got to throw out everything. I'm throwing it all out the window. Everything that I've learned from like just the, it's that, that mindset of this is the only thing I'm going to sell, to let's see what we can do with focusing on volume. And not only that, but focusing on volume and putting it through a spouse and not myself, so that was a real big mindset switch, because my coaches were always taught, you hit Success Club 5, then you put the rest through your spouse, or you hit Success Club 10 in yours and put the rest in your spouse account. Well, they were hitting Success Club 5 or 10 and they had nothing left, So it's like, so we had this big mindset switch. Now, not everyone jumped on, and we're still in the process of change, because my leaders were conditioned this way, So, but the ones that did are so happy, and they're making more money, and their volume is increasing. And I have seen my volume increasing this year over last year, which is a blessing. And I just feel like they're working less. Like they're not like, they're working more intentional rather than just kind of trying to hit that, you know, get a success club point and then moving on to the next. And, you know, that whole thing that I was definitely caught up in as well. So I just want to share where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not a network, well, I am a network marketer now, but, you know, I was in that whole success club challenge path, that whole thing. And that's how I ran my business for 5 years. So I feel it's a hard change, but I'm telling you right now, you're going to bring more joy on your team and within your own business. Okay, Shane, you're up.
Okay, hi guys. So I think I feel like I probably struggled the most with the transition. I think Candace, Tara, and Doug would agree. This was really hard for me. And I mean, I think everything you just heard, I'm sure all of you are going, oh my God, like, yeah. So I'm not going to repeat all of that, like just what they said. I can just say the same thing. You know, I built 5 to 10 SC. You find your 5 gold chips. That's what I taught. I lead with the business. That's always been. So I've always had a business mindset. I was here to make money. And so when that changed, I think we were all a little quiet about it, like what's happening. So we look at ourselves, and what we realized when 3 separate good coaches came together is it's not us. Things are broken, period. You know, there's breaks in the comp plan, there's breaks in, and the brainwash is real. Guys, this is not easy. Like, the brainwash is real. I do what I'm told. I was told to do this, I did it, that's how I've been successful, but they didn't change with the changes. So one of the biggest changes, even just social media with the stories and other network marketing companies, that killed us right there. So we have this huge thing against us with everybody else selling something. So it got harder anyway, right? It got harder. It was, if we go back 6 years, I'm like, gosh, all we had to do was hope our coaches posted twice a day and they would sell something. It's nothing like that now. Then you add all the other changes, like the lack of volume, quite frankly, and the fact that we have been on like a downward slope. It's just been so like slow and gradual that we've all been a little like, oh, what's happening? And it's just time to wake up, because what I can tell you is this isn't 1 foot in. And that's what I think is going to be the biggest struggle for probably a majority of us, is you want to be on board, but you don't want to be on board, because that's all we've ever known. Elite, SC 15, 20, maybe for some of you guys, it's like crazy numbers. That was never me. So that wasn't a hard transition, but just teaching the SC5 and, you know, focusing on elite, the company needs to do something different. And I don't believe they will unless truly we are one united front and they realize, holy cow, like we have to do something, and not in 6 months, now. So I just wanted to share that because I want you to know that this was a crazy hard transition. I still struggle with it every day. I still hit Success Club. I'm not hitting Success Club, but I do believe it happens organically many times. Get Doug? No, it really does, guys, because we know it's a great value, but that's about it. It's a great value for the customer. And there's so many other things we can do to really just help our coaches feel like this is so fun. I sold and energized, and they get to celebrate that because it does count. It matters. Everything matters. Everything is a win. So I just wanted to share that I'm with you if you're sitting here going, oh my gosh, how do I even take that leap? I think we have to just jump. Doug.
Doug, you ready? We are Doug's
ready
now. Doug's Angels.
All right. Okay. Man, this is early for me, but I got to start with a story, and I'm going to be as brief as possible. Okay. I know I ramble a lot, but I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, Candace asked me to do a team call for her, and I'm like, okay. Once in a while, people go find me in the shadows. I try to hide, and sometimes they pull me out. But Candace had me do a team call, and I always talk volume because that's what I know. I don't know Success Club. I've done half the challenge group. It sucked. I'm not a big recruiter. I've never been a big recruiter. In fact, we didn't have social media when the company started. But Candace called me to do a call, and I did the call for her team. I mean, and they're a strong young team. And I thought it went well, and I kind of said it went well. So time goes by, and a year or two pass, and I get this call from another coach, and I don't really know her. And she goes, "Hey, I want to tell you, I was on Candace's team when you did that call, and everything you said about team volume hit me. So I quit Beachbody, and I went to this other company, and I want to tell you, I'm up in front of 40,000 people talking, and I'm giving you all the credit because I applied what you taught me." And I said, "Oh, okay." You know, and I got off the phone with her and I looked at the two companies' comp plans and I go, if she would have did what I told her in our company, she'd be making more money than the company she went to. That she's up in front of everybody talking. And then the next day, I get a call from Candace saying, "Hey, can you come help us with this issue?" And I'm like, "Are you sure you want me back?" Last time you called me, it was like, "Ooh." But so that was there. But, and Shane's not lying, by the way. She's had the most resistance to this. Back in November, I think we started this when we said, "Hey, we need systems in place." And Shane's not lying. Just like you guys can watch the boards and the message boards, there's these people that are good people that are so resistant and so doubting, which they should be. But you're hanging on to a system that's not there anymore. You got to remember, in 2016, things changed. But what changed big that most people didn't grasp is we were a hybrid company. We were a company that did infomercials and we did networking. So we had something different. Well, that changed. We became an MLM. And guess what? The company didn't change its recognition and you guys didn't change. And that started, it actually started about 2015, and that pebbled into what the crash are seeing that's going to get worse if we don't take action. So that said, this group, the unity, like Shane spoke of, is huge, okay? Because if you like Success Club, that can happen, but not this environment. So if we change to team volume, corporate will follow. Success Club will change to recognize these things that you guys are doing. Corporate's not going to continue doing something that's not getting them results, okay? They are the CEO of that company. Carl is the CEO of that company. He's going to be there for a profit. And here's the question I challenge you to this. Are you the CEO of your company? You say it all the time. You say it all the time, but are you? Would a CEO right now do things for recognition? Why their team is suffering, why their people can't pay their mortgage or that bill? Would you? Now, some teams are doing very, very good right now. So this isn't go to everybody. Some teams, they got good systems in. I talked to a lot of, some of the top people, and they do, but they're doing 10 times the work for, much reward. But the bottom line is, they're on, like I told everybody, the Titanic thing. They're on the top level of the Titanic. They're in the promenade and they're out there, things look good. There's plenty of light bulbs. The bottom, the boiler room, and everybody else is already drowned. Okay. Those were your emeralds. They're dead. All right. Now the people in the other rooms are all swimming for their lives, what's left of the diamonds and everything else. People on top aren't going to feel it until a total collapse, but there's some people on our cab and top coaches that recognize this. And they realize it's good now, but if the majority of the company fails, yeah, we sink too. So keep that in mind. Be the CEO of your company, and you have to have a decision there. Is Success Club elite best interest for my company, or is it just best interest for me? Because the reality is right now, for the majority of people, if you're elite or whatever, you're doing maybe good, maybe not. A lot of elite are doing horrible. But there's a high percentage in this company, and talking from everybody, and I've gotten hundreds, if not thousands of calls the last couple of months, people telling me what's going on. I'm like, ooh, wow, we're in trouble. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have to own your business. You can't wait for Beachbody to own it for you. You can't wait for anybody to lead you. You are the CEO. Okay, you are the CEO. Be a CEO. Mathematically, what works. You can't argue with what we're talking about right now. You can argue, but mathematically, do you want to make money or not? That's it. And so we're MLM. We're not a hybrid. What was wonderful and beautiful, and you guys got cool guitars and crap and stuff like that. That's cool. That's fun, and that can come back. But we have to force change first. We have to make it so everybody wins. You know what? I cannot recruit a coach right now by choice. And I tell you why I can't, because what I'm telling them, what the company's message is right now, I can't bring anybody. I've had 2 people ask to sign up in the last 3 days. And I'm like, I can't do it right now. Do I need them? Yeah, because I got to rebuild my leg, dude, because I got hit from the product removal. But I need to believe in this company, the mission of this company. And I'm going to sign those people. Don't get me wrong. I believe in the mission, but I got to believe what I'm telling them is true. And I believe that we finally could come together and that we can do this. We can change this because the team volume works. And I want to go there real quick, and then I know I can ramble forever. And everybody understands. I know everybody on this call is like, we need something. Everybody is, we're all in the same loop. But unity with us is huge. We need a call for action with us as a group, you guys are the best of the best. You're the best of the best. I could take you guys anywhere, and we would be making a fortune anywhere, with you guys. You can open up selling hamsters or something. I don't know, but we'd make a fortune because you guys are the best of the best. So, but we love this company. Let's make this work. So I want to define a couple of things I've said. A couple of people asked me questions, and then I guess I'll hand it back over to Candace real quick. The Emerald definition, people say, about pushing volume, what's that mean? And they're always so worried about, who am I going to sign up if I don't have a spouse or this or that? There's multiple angles of pushing volume. Pushing volume doesn't just mean placing volume. It means working with the aggressive coaches that are abandoning your downline, identifying who the hot coaches are. That's where your time goes. You look for coaches. It's not just about, I want to place volume. Oh, that's huge. And corporate's going to try to prevent us on that. And we have to stay in policy on that. But everything that we can do to move volume to lower business centers doubles your pay, or not doubles it, but increases your pay. It's a multiplier. But it's also identifying those people in your DL who give you no benefit in the old system, that don't give you success points, that don't do those things. But those people, I've seen so many posts and so many people have talked to me lately saying, oh my God, this person's never made Success Club, and oh Lord, look how much team volume they're doing. I'm totally ignored them. Look at the volume they're doing. That's one of the most important people on your paycheck, and you've ignored them because you haven't identified them. And then you give love to someone that got you a free hat. Sorry, brutal, but true. Brutal, true. So defining the emeralds to that, okay, I said there's a weakness in my other videos, and I want to clarify this real quick, and I know I'm speaking too much. I'll get back to Candace. And by the way, you guys, I want to tell you how important this is to me. Because look, I can do a lot of things because I've had a lot of success with Beachbody, but I love this company. I mean, this is my baby, really. This kind of started from what I did in 2001 when I won the first transformation contest and just took on the name Coach. I love this. And I'm not saying this to get sympathy or anything, but this call right now is costing me about $10,000. I was supposed to pick up some product that I was being given to, and if I didn't, I just found out this morning I had to be there within this 2 hours, or the next guy got it for my other business. And I'm like, I can't be there. I got to be here for this call. So it's not a big deal, but you guys are important because I want this promise to stay alive. So, and I want to clarify this too. I just want to put that out there just to show you guys that I am dedicated to this movement. And people are like, aren't you afraid you're going to get kicked out? No, the Beachbody's not against us. Carl and all them are for us, but obviously they're into profit like you should be. You should be into profit like Carl is. he's doing what is best for his company and his employees. You need to do the same. Okay. So I just want to define this real quick because a lot of people get this mixed up when we say we have to get Emerald incentive. Okay. Emerald incentive, really what we're talking about, which we really need help with, we need help with that from the company, from the mid-range products, those that, because we used to have like slamming packs for $44 and they were 50 PV. So we could keep an Emerald on 3 of those because it cost them, about $150 a month, and they could keep their Emerald status and they reward it with the customers that they didn't really even touch, and half of them didn't make any money off of them. They just got them, so it made it sense they would stay there. That 80% of those Emeralds, in our company was probably more. In any company you see those where you just need them to keep coming. So that's the one thing we're going to have to figure out on our own as a team until we get corporate to help. All right. The other part is the other Emerald. A lot of people are like, well, this Emerald, they're doing this and this and this. Well, those are your Emeralds you don't need to incentivize, because you know what they're going to be incentivized by? The ones that actually want to grow? Team volume. When they start seeing team volume come under them, they're incentivized. They're people that see money, they're going to go. And even some of the ones that are floaters that aren't really, they're just pawns, they're going to create volume for you. And that's some of their incentive, but they need more than that, is that that team volume. When you're placing team volume, it's incentive because now your whole team's making money. Us old coaches never got into the Success Club stuff because we were like, man, you're putting everything up here. It's going to be harder in the long run to keep your Emeralds and your lower diamonds in the game, right? And it was it's the bucket with the holes. You just got to keep filling it because the water's running out. Well, those holes are huge now, and it's amplified, and everybody's seeing it. I can't keep filling the holes. So when you put volume down, it starts plugging those holes because now they're all seeing money come up. They don't want to lose their active status because they zero their bank account out. So there are 2 different types of Emeralds there. Ones that just show up and ones that are working. So they're 2 different things. I wanted to clarify that. I know we're going to have a call for action, I believe. And I could talk all night, guys. But hopefully I just want to put a couple stress points in there. I pretty much just said what you already knew, I think. And if I can help anyway, I will, and I'm here. This is important to me because I don't believe the company can take much of the network, I should say. The company's going to be fine of what's going on. And if we're going to keep our word to everybody that we brought on board, that you said, hey, we're going to make a difference in your life. We're not going to destroy your life. We're going to make a difference. We're not going to say work 14 hours for $200 a week. We're going to be a real difference. We need change. We need unity. We need you guys to stand up and be the heart of this company and own your business. If you go stay in Success Club right now and you do half team volume, half Success Club, what message are you sending to your team? What are you doing? What do you get out of Success Club? It's like personal volume. Oh, I got 1,000 PV. What does that mean? It means nothing. I could give you 1,000 gold stars. It doesn't mean anything. Team volume means everything. Commissions mean the next. You go team volume's big money, commissions the small money. That's how networks work. So welcome to your MLM. All right, I'm done whining.
Thank you, Doug. I just
Sorry.
want to share like a common question that I get, and then we'll just like open it up, is a lot of people are like, and guys, you can do whatever you want. I'm just sharing personal choices that I've made for my team. And some people like, well, I'm going to just recognize Success Club and Top Team Volume. I'm not. I don't recognize Success Club anymore. I had a new coach that hit Success Starters like organically, and because she really wanted that summit ticket, that was her goal. So I talked to her privately and I was like, yay, that's so awesome, blah. But I did a post for her, but as far as team recognition, like, we don't do Success Club anymore. We just don't, because I feel like it's giving a false sense of success. But I mean, you know what, Doug, do you want to talk about that a little bit more? I know you briefly touched on it, but are you there, Dougie?
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah,
I was
about
on Pornhub.
still, no, it's okay. About still talking about still recognizing Team Success Club and Team Volume, and confusing the situation. Like, just talk a little bit more about that, because I kind of feel like that's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you do stuff on your team, you have to have a direct message. I think when you send multiple messages to anybody, you're going to have troubles. And team volume is a duplicating system. So the number one thing in any network, you guys, for success is duplication. How easy is it to duplicate? And practice that. And I've had a coach in my weak leg that was for years the top recruiter, one of the top recruiters in our company, and he never made it past, I think, 2-star, and he's just brought on hundreds of people. And I'm like, you have no duplication. Everything you're doing is through a blog. You're never going to grow. You're never going to get that money. So duplication is key. So when you're telling, like, a lot of people will say, well, I'm signing this person, they don't have a spouse. So if they do team volume through their first business center, they get nothing for it. So they're not doing it. I'm earning off them. They're not. The response to that is you're teaching them a duplicatable system. If they're earning off team volume at that time or not, it doesn't matter, because they still get the same commission if their money doesn't change. They don't lose money. They just have to learn a system of duplication that they can apply later. So if they're not doing it, if the team volume's through their top business, because you guys all know that you don't cycle off of any money in your first business center. And a lot of people, they're like, when you tell a new coach that, or someone who hasn't been through the ringer, you don't cycle off personal volume on any level. And you definitely don't cycle off of team volume in your first level. And what a lot of companies will do is, though, it's not just Beachbody, they want you to put as much of your team volume into your first business center because it washes it. They don't have to pay you. So if I'm sending the message out, hey, sometimes, put the team volume through your first business center, and this is younger coaches, by the way. I'm not talking about coaches with a second business center, because if you have a second business center, you can make Success Club and all that and get all your, everything there is if you want. But for a new coach, who doesn't have that control of volume placement, and you're telling them that message, you're basically mixing the message. You're giving them a fruitless action, or an action that takes money away from them. Because if they're doing that, they're still going to get their commission, but they're not going to capitalize off the lower volume. So you're taking money away from them. So you got to get out of this mindset of when someone comes in, their immediate actions are for them. Okay. Because in network marketing, we plant seeds. That's immediate action. We seed. All right. And we try to make commissions to cover our costs. We seed, and we seed through duplication. We seed it so we can get that huge harvest, so we don't have to work crazy for the rest of our lives. But if I'm telling someone, hey, do Success Club, that we know right now is a failure, because it's hard for a lot of people to break away from that. And I'm hoping it comes back, because recognition is, man, it's easy to sell. It's easy to sell, but you lose coaches faster because it's not real, doesn't really make money for them, So the mixed message is brutal. And the only reason you would do it right now is because you have been conditioned, and it is habit for you, and you are still liking that recognition. If you have multiple business centers, knock it out, whatever. But if you're telling new coaches that they should focus on Success Club, you're crazy. If you sell challenge packs, there's a time to do that. And I talk about the blue and gold, but if that's what you're leading with all the time, you're basically saying, hey, take some money out of my pocket so you can, and I did want to bring this up real quick too. On challenge packs, I hear this thing all the time. Well, I'm giving my customer the best deal. That is such crap. I'm sorry. You're giving them the cheapest deal, not the best deal. The best deal is getting them in at a low price point and building the system around them. Not giving them a bunch of crap they're probably not going to use, because you know they're going to cancel most of it in 2 months, right? Because they're coming in at a high price point. When your customer comes in, you go to get a radio in your car. You need a radio. You go, I want this and this and this. I need this. These are my needs. And the salesman says, you know what? I'm going to give you this one for 3 times the price, 4 times the price. It's got all this crap on it you're never going to need, but I'm going to discount it. You know, and that's called impulse buying, guys. And that's what a challenge pack is. It's an impulse buy. And you can have the philosophy that, hey, that's better for my people, and that's okay. But that's your philosophy. But don't think that the people that are leading with products are inferior in any way in integrity, because you're not. I, for myself, you know, come in at $20, let's build this around you. That's something I would like. If I went to a fitness place and they said, hey, we're going to get you in for $19 or whatever, and I'm going to build this around you, I'd be like, that's perfect. Or, hey, I'm going to sell you this. One shoe fits everybody for 5 times as much. I'll see you in a couple months. It's just perspective, guys. Not a wrong answer, not a right answer, but you need to see that perspective. And I am so off point, Candace. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but man, my head's just like, and it's early in the morning. So, and I got to drive for 10 hours after this. I got to drive to Chicago. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Terrible. Does anybody want to ask a question, unmute themselves? Well, I guess we can open this up right now.
I do. So I was just kind of private messaging Candace, so I didn't blow up the text, but I've totally switched this. Did a whole like cover photo I shared with you guys about volume and the sense of like, you know, from the people who don't hit Success Club and then they peace out because they think I'm not successful, whatever. It's worked amazing, like awesome paycheck today, everything. My question is though, totally agree. Every week I recognize Success Club, I recognize volume, and I recognize how many coaches have been added to the team. So the switch of like not doing Success Club makes sense. But how do you do that? Because I think so many people were so tunnel visioned on it. And I went and recognized the volume every week too, and then the monthly volume we do also. So in talking with new coaches, I mean, they're going to hear about it, but I want to transition them to say, just help somebody with something and go from there. So how did you guys make the transition, not only with recognition, like I said, Candace, I'm not recognition based. I don't care about it. I'd rather see my team up there. It's just, that doesn't drive me at all. Depth drives me. So, and I have a lot of coaches that are the same way. So how did you make that transition?
So Candace went like all in with the Success Club boards. So she never did them again. I do mine every month still because I have coaches that are adding coaches with an upsell and they're selling challenge packs and they're leaders and they want to get their Success Club legend, whatever. Now, I can't pull that away from them because it's their own individual goal. So I'm planning to phase it out, but right now we still do once a month a Success Club board. And I don't give it much attention. It's very basic. It's in my page. I don't post it on any social media other than that. And I think your team is going to do what you recognize most. And we recognize volume every week. We recognize business builders. I mean, sometimes I post them like 3 times a week. Like in the past 2 days, these are the people that added coaches. Like, so it's more of that and they're seeing less of Success Club. It is such a hard thing to break. It really is, because I have a girl that just wanted her legend. So she got it last month and now she's breaking free of it. It's like a mindset thing. I don't know. But with the new coaches, with the Success Starter thing, I have done this I've had new coaches sign up, and they are, first of all, they're newer coaches that actually re-signed up because they were with me years ago and got burnt out. And they're excited, and they're bringing in income and volume and all that. I bought their ticket to Summit. I mean, like, you can't do that obviously if you have so many, but like, there was 2 girls, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of, I'll buy your ticket next year to Summit, and once it goes on sale, I'll do it that way, and that can be their gift, you know? So that's another option. But I feel like we have to do something to recognize, and there might be gifts involved and all that until corporate helps.
I have a question. So I spoke to this a little bit in the chat, but I'm a 3 on the Enneagram, and 90% of my team is also 3s. So I am struggling so bad with this. Like I said, I did 2 videos already, and a lot of girls are running with it, but I have an average of 10 to 15 new PS coaches hit Success Club every month. So it's a huge shift in team culture. And I love how you said you still recognize Success Club once a month, but I don't even know where to start, because I have focused, like I just redid my training 2 months ago, and it's like all Success Starter, it's Success Club. It's my number of Success Club, consecutive months is my most like proud accolade when I speak on team calls. And I've been like drilling that so hard for the last like 3 months, because I was number 17 in February. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll be top 10 this year. So like I've been in that, and now I'm like, pump the brakes. I have diamonds making less than $1,000 a month. Like, something's got to change. And I'm a very vulnerable and transparent, no filter. The second I learned about it, the second I started dripping it into my team page. And so, I mean, I don't even know where to start as far as like, we're all recognition heavy. So like, what does that look like? I've been very transparent with like, I didn't know better, but now I know better. So let's do better type of thing. Anyone that can relate to speak to that would be awesome.
Hey, one thing I want to say real quick is, is mindsets, and don't depreciate your team's. I'm going to say this, that it's gonna watching, because I've been watching the 3 teams or 4 teams that I've been working with over the months to see where we get that pull down and stuff. And there is that resistance, but the majority of your team are the low achievers. They're the people that are going to say that $20 sell, oh, I did it. I'm on the team now. That success is the little wins or the big wins. It's just like when you lose weight. Me, I go up and down. When you guys see me at Summit, I'll be wearing a moo-moo. I'm working on that before photo right now. But when you lose that 7 pounds, that's huge. That's a better sell than that 100-pound loss. Because you did it in a week, and people are attainable. It's attainable. For me, when I was in this business at the beginning, I used to show people my checks every week. I'm like, oh, look, I made 300, I made 500. When I got into the thousands, I had to stop. The reason I had to stop was because people stopped signing up when I showed them the big money, because it became unattainable to them. So when you transfer this to what we're doing, that experience to what we're doing right now is these little wins. And I've seen so many messages from people. Look what my coach said. This coach hasn't done anything in a while. This coach hasn't done anything in a while. Now they're like excited because they sold a BOD. They're like in it. And look, when you're pushing team volume, those wins are huge. Okay, for one, they keep your people coming. All right, so you're not just working with the 2% on your team. For the 2% on your team, you got to ask them, look, okay, look. I'm just going to put this out there. I think in pictures, so it might not make any sense. There's Sears, all right, and then Walmart came into the picture. And Sears said, well, this kind of sucks that Walmart's here. They're taking away a lot of our business, right? We don't need to change, though. We can kind of keep doing what we're doing because we're getting by, all right? Walmart said, oh, okay, cool. And they got bigger and bigger and bigger, and Sears got smaller and smaller and smaller. Then what happened? The next guy came in, Amazon. And what happened? Amazon said, screw Walmart, we'll do better. We'll take action. And guess what happened to Sears? It's gone, right? It disappeared, basically. It's not there anymore. So your top leaders have to make a mindset. Are they going to stick to systems? And we change. You can't deny we change. Even if they're having success right now, some of the people on this call, I know their teams are still growing. Even if they're having success, it's not at the rate. They are at the Sears Walmart phase, you know. So they haven't got to the Amazon phase like most of the people on this call where they're getting wiped out. You have to make that change, and you have to make it very clear to your team. We're not the same company anymore. You can't save feelings right here, right now. Hey, look, I taught this worked great in this period, but guess what? Everything changed, and it did. And you as a leader have to own that. It's up to you. You lead your team. If you have half your team floating here at Success Club doing an ineffective system, that's on you if you don't own that. But if you're going to own it, everything that happens on your team is your responsibility. What do you want? What's your message? And that's how you try. And it's hard. It's hard because I watched, it's like Shane said, boy, that was brutal, man. I was like, Candace, Shane's, man, this is tough. And then all of a sudden, the numbers started adding up. Things started working. People started putting math out there. Now a lot of people on this call came in, you know, like Brooke and those guys, and they're doing numbers, and they're showing their numbers, and they're amazing minds. Look, most of the people on this call right now are better than me, better coaches than I've ever been. You guys are better recruiters. You're better at everything you do. I look at stuff like Brooke puts up, and I'm like, oh my God, how she's so organized. You know, it's mind blowing. But what you're not better at is making money. Okay, as fast as I did, as fast as my coaches did. Okay, and with my longevity, even though I got to revisit my weak leg, the amount of work I've done under 10 years has been minimal to keep the lifestyle I dreamed of and that I promised people, okay, because the way we build was solid, all right? So that's what you have to look at, and you have to take ownership of that, and you can't make up excuses. Just do it, and then some people are going to quit. But here's the good thing. If you like Success Club, it's going to come back. It has to. If we come in and say, this is what we're doing, corporate, this is what we're doing, and everybody says, Lee, it's not about me, it's about everybody. Corporate has to come in and say, okay, we're changing our system. You guys are going to get the recognition again. So I believe if we do this as a short period, this is going to be a short period, but we need it now because people got to pay their bills. And you have to preach the duplication to your entire team or it doesn't work. So did I even answer the question?
Yes, you're amazing.
And if I could just really quick, I feel like I'm thinking this, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking this, and just like, kind of like, now what? I think there's this whole like, okay, what do we do? But, and I just kind of, so that's one thing. And second is like, we are only 4 people. There's a lot of things we haven't thought of that I'm already seeing in the other page, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So I feel like we need to agree that there's a central location of brain dumping and strategy, because can you imagine what 60 people can create instead of 4? And the other thing I just want to say is I don't want I think this could increase income quickly. I didn't see it quick. And this is I'm still like on this bus of trying to get people moving. So I don't want anyone to also get discouraged if you try it this month and it doesn't like work. This has got to be, this is one of those things. It's like slow, steady over time. So I just wanted to say that because I know like, boom, it's not like that. Definitely not for me. It's just it's almost like be okay with just seeing your coaches happier again. Because then the rest follows with the energy and taking some of the pressure off and celebrating everything. And so that was just kind of weighing on me, is like a plan, having a brain dump, implementing things, always, you see something, you say something. I think we're so afraid of I am so afraid of anyone being upset with me. And we have to let that go because this is our life. And then just keep, giving, ideas, what's working, what's not, but not to try too many things at once, because I think that will push our team away. If we're like, too much change is also going to backfire. Just letting them know that here's everything we have. What can we put in people's hands? That's kind of just the philosophy.
Hey, I wanna make a point real quick and just give you a sample real quick of a little bit of a power play. When we did the first meetings in Beachbody, I would do them in Vegas, and I would tell corporate to come down, and they'd be like, "We're not ready." And I'm like, "It doesn't matter, you're coming down." The first meeting they came down, they were wearing suits, and I'm like, "Get out of here, come back in sweatsuits," and they did. And I go, "We're not that kind of company." But what I wanted to bring up to that was, in those meetings, other networks would come with their hats on and all their stuff on, and all the travel MLMs would come. All the travel ones, they'd show up, and we like, "Come on in." And then they would sit there and pitch to the same people we're pitching to. "Hey, you get free trips. You get to go with us on these trips. You get these free trips no matter where you go. You get to go all over the world and all this if you join our MLM over there." And, our solution was simple. It's like, you can pay for our own with the money you're going to make. Go wherever you want. You don't have to go with these idiots. And and it worked. And nobody would sign up for those networks that were in there being very persuasive with their hats on and their ties and all that. But money talks. And if you're preaching trips and hats and stuff, it's a great motivator. It is. But the key is the people are here because they need to make money. And so that will help. So that mindset I just want to throw out there, you guys. I know I talk off topic a lot, but yeah.
I'm going to suggest something that everybody can easily implement, like today, especially because it's June 6th. Okay. So now everybody's like, out of the summit qualification. And okay. So if you guys, I don't know who's in the closet, but Keisha Embry posted the most fabulous quarterly bod push breakdown of compensation and how to do it and what it means, like dollar wise. It's so simple, guys. So I'll just break it down for you real quickly if you haven't checked out. But if not, just go to that page, because she did a spreadsheet and everything. But it's basically selling 10 quarterly bods a month. And you can always pop Energize in their cart because, and you guys know how to sell Energize, so I'm not going to tell you, okay? So the cool thing about that is that's legit the easiest thing to sell in our arsenal. I think we can all agree that is probably the easiest thing that we can sell. Like one girl, I forget who was, Lindsay, commented in, what do you call it? The closet or somewhere. She had within like 48 hours of Keisha posting that strategy, she already had 25 share carts out. Okay. Imagine, guys, if now you push this contest. So this is what I'm doing on my team this month, is we're pushing this quarterly bod contest. So if they sell 10 quarterly bods, they get 1 entry. If they sell 10 quarterly bods and 5 Energize on HD, because HD is key, because you want the continuity, and no one's going to cancel that because it's amazing. They get 2 entries. If they're 10 for 10, they get 3 entries. And then we'll do a $100 gift card to Amazon or Instacart. That's a very easy thing to implement like today. And you can do a contest just to kind of break their like stride. And they're going to make money, because if they sell 10, it's $155. Okay. And it's legit the easiest thing to sell. So if I were you, go into the closet, search Keisha's name, see how she broke it down. It's an awesome thread. And yeah, that's all I want to share about something that you can do like today. That's not Success Club Challenge Pack focused. And also I want to say, like, some people will say, well, the challenge pack is the best deal for the customer. Yes. But now when I talk to people, I don't go, oh my God, you have to get the all access. It's the best. I take a little bit longer to ask them what their needs are. And then I show them a menu and I let them decide, so they're comfortable that they made the decision. Cause it's true, guys, like, people don't like to be sold to. Okay. Like, and they're like, so this one girl that signed up with me the other day, she was like, I definitely want that deal with the Shakeology and the Year of Bod. And I was like, okay, great. But I added that because she made the decision. I didn't push it. Like before, I was like pushing it I average SC20 for the last 2 years. Like I pushed that before. But now I am taking a little bit longer to talk through it, and they're so happy because they made the decision. Okay. Anybody else want to ask a question? What time is it here? We got 5 minutes. I don't think we should go longer than an hour.